Welcome to my very messy garage gym. Today I'm going to show you something that's going to help you train away hip pain and make your hips feel strong in all kinds of awkward positions. And all you need are some elastic bands and two upright posts or anchor points. You could do this in your gym with a squat rack. You could do this at a commercial gym with a squat rack. You could do this at a non-commercial gym with a squat rack. You could do this on your balcony. You could do this around stairs. You can do this exercise anywhere without a care, in the air, without any hair. Whether you've got hip pain or you're just trying to improve your general hip mobility and strength, this setup is going to help you big time. So let's get into it. So what you need are some long elastic training bands. The ones I have here are 41 inches long, and I've just got them attached around some solid anchor points on my squat rack going from side to side. You can do this again with any solid anchor points. I don't even have them perfectly level, and it doesn't really matter. You just need to make sure you have them going pretty much horizontal like this. Now you should be asking, what is the point of all this? The point is, using this band setup, you can train your inner thighs, your hip flexors, your outer hips, even back here. You can train all kinds of angles on your hips and make everything feel stronger and also get a little bit longer. Except that, although technically I haven't tried, so I don't actually know. Maybe I should try. Here's how you can train your inner thighs, which on many people is really weak. You can just step over so you're hooked in here, and then you're pulling in like so. There isn't really a wrong way to do this. You just want to feel balanced and stable, and you want to do slow, controlled reps. You want to make sure you feel inner thigh muscles working. You can be in deeper hip flexion like this, so you're approximating a squat, or you could be standing straight up. Having a barbell in here or having something to hold so you can stabilize really helps. But what about your outer hips? There's a couple ways you could do it. You could take your far leg across your body and then start pressing that band down. Again, you can try whatever angle you want. I could be like this, so I'm kind of working on a kick, or I could be a little more in hip extension and trying to press it down. Either way, I can find the angle that my hips are weak at. Another way to do this is to have the near side leg pushing up. So now I'm working these muscles in a shortened position rather than the lengthened position that I was working earlier. This can be really nice for just getting reps at that higher position, and what's even nicer is you can change up the vectors that you're challenging your hips with. For example, I could just be going straight up into abduction and work those outer thigh muscles with that vector that just goes straight up and down. But because this thing is a little bit sticky and grabby, I can actually add extension, right? If I'm trying to go up and back, that's actually combining the motions and forcing the outer hip and my hip extensors to work in conjunction. I could also go into hip flexion if I'm trying to go up and pull forward. The band provides resistance going up and down and also side to side, so you can really work on combining motions. Let's say I want to train my adductors and pull down. Well, I can also add some internal rotation by hooking the front part of my foot and then pulling down and also trying to pull a little bit more so that the foot is pointing down towards the floor. That's going to add a whole lot of activation to these muscles up here. I wonder if that would make it longer. If you want to work hip extension, you could just do it like this, where you're pushing up towards the ceiling, or you could do it like this, where you're pulling down towards the floor. This gives you options. You can find different angles, different positions that feel tough, and really focus on strengthening in those specific angles. And if you've ever felt like your pigeon stretch feels kind of like, well, just feels like, then you might benefit from this next option. You can put your foot right up on the band like this, and you're in kind of a pigeon position, right? And then you can be pushing down into the band, down towards the floor. So now you're strengthening hip internal rotation from an externally rotated position. That's going to help your hips feel a lot more stable when it goes into that pigeon stretch. You can work on getting deeper into that position and then firing those muscles, holding that contraction and back out. Fire, contract, 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 and back out. But that's not the only way you could help your pigeon. You could also hook your foot this way and try to create more hip external rotation with hip flexion. That's going to be tough. It's going to be painful. It's going to be so challenging, and it's going to be so good for making that pigeon stretch more strong. Or you can just hook your thigh like this and pull up. This is going to help you train hip flexion, and if you want to increase your hip flexion with hip external rotation, just do this. And up we go. So now you're training all this stuff, and it's gonna complain a lot. But guess what? The complaining doesn't stop there. You could go into hip abduction. So now you're kind of into a split position, and you're just lifting. You're gonna feel your hip flexors screaming. They're screaming. They're screaming. Don't forget to do both sides. Oh God, they're screaming. They're screaming, they're screaming, they're screaming. And if you're an ice hockey goalie, you might like this one. You can put your foot on top of the band in a half split, and then you're gonna press down. So for those hockey goalies out there, being able to really stretch out and have force down into the ice to feel stable is gonna be really, really helpful. So you can play around with different parts of the range of motion. Maybe you find right here it's really weak. Well, then you could work on reps, slow and controlled, static holds, feeling the right muscles fire, and then relax it, and then keep doing it. You want to strengthen it, strengthen it, strengthen it. You can find different angles like this. I find lately for surfing and just for general hip health, I find working this even helps, because when I'm on a surfboard, being able to bring my feet and legs together like this is important when I'm paddling. And I've found over the years that because of hockey and biking and sitting in a computer chair, my legs want to be apart like this. So training to be able to bring the foot and leg towards the midline while in hip extension has been really important and really helpful. And if you have trouble doing deep squats, this can be super helpful. To feel stable in a deep squat, you need to make sure that the muscles of the inner thigh are able to control the knees. Many people have been cued to always push the knees out when they squat, which makes you feel super unstable, and it gets your glute muscles a little bit dysfunctional and short because they're constantly pulling out like this. To balance that out and to reduce a lot of the hip pain and tightness you might be getting from lifting heavy, you might want to strengthen your inner thighs using the bands like I'm going to show you. Of course, adjust this to the height and tension that you need, but the basic idea is this. You get into some kind of a squat-like position, whatever angle you feel like you need work at, and then hook into the band and overcorrect. Work on bringing the band beyond the midline so your knee is coming in towards the midline rather than being way out here the way your coach might have had you squat. Play around with your position. You can angle in to create more of a challenge. You might want to actually angle away from it and then work on it at a wider position. It's all good. Just find what you're not good at and work at it. Maybe you need to be a little bit higher, and that feels like a really good challenge. Like right now, I can feel the muscles on my butt are having to actually learn how to relax and stabilize at that lengthened position while my inner thighs fire. This can be super important if you have trained in a dysfunctional squat pattern because some well-intentioned coach told you you always had to have your knees out when you squat. This gives you the ability to choose what you do with your knees. As with most corrective exercises, 2 to 3, maybe even 4 sets, feeling fatigue in each set is a great way to get some gains. Of course, don't overdo this. Don't start off with every single day unless you know your body well enough to be able to navigate those sore, muddy waters. This setup has really given me a lot of options that have helped address tightness, stiffness, and weakness all over my hips. So I hope it helps you out. If you try it out, please drop me a comment down below and let me know what you notice, what you discover, and what you improve. It'll help inspire somebody else to improve their hips too. And if you're looking for a program to help you improve your hip mobility, hip strength, and get rid of hip pain, make sure you check out the Healthy Hips program. Go to uprighthealth.com/DIY to check it out. And you can also get a free program while you're there. It's the Body Rebuilding Basics. You'll see it linked there. Enjoy it. It's free. It's got a bunch of free workouts to help you with your hips and your posture. So again, uprighthealth.com/DIY. YouTube and I both think you'll enjoy these videos right here, so go check them out. Like, share, and subscribe with the bell notification on. And as always, I hope you remember that pain sucks. Life shouldn't.